reacting instead of choosing. They wake up, scroll, work, please others, repeat, and call it normal. But normal is often just unconscious. The real danger isn't failure or rejection, it's living on autopilot. When you don't examine your own motives, fears, and desires, someone else will happily control them for you. Power doesn't always come from force. It often comes from ignorance, especially ignorance of the self. From a young age, we are trained to seek approval. Parents, teachers, friends, society, everyone rewards compliance and punishes individuality. Over time, this conditions us to measure our worth through external validation, likes, praise, attention, acceptance. The problem is that once your value depends on others, your freedom disappears. You become predictable, manipulable, and easy to influence. People who crave approval are not kind. They are controlled. Self-awareness is the beginning of real strength. When you understand why certain words trigger you, why certain people intimidate you, and why certain situations drain you, you regain power over yourself. Most emotional reactions are not spontaneous. They are rehearsed patterns from the past. The moment you see them clearly, they lose their grip. You don't need to suppress emotions, just understand them. Awareness turns chaos into choice. There is a harsh truth few people like to admit. Not everyone around you wants you to grow. Some prefer you confused, dependent, and seeking their approval. When you start thinking independently, setting boundaries, or walking your own path, resistance appears. This is not a sign you are wrong. It is a sign you are changing. Growth threatens those who benefit from your old self. Living for yourself does not mean becoming selfish or cruel. It means becoming honest. Honest about what you want, what you tolerate, and what you will no longer accept. When your actions align with your values, manipulation loses its power. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing. You stop proving. Silence becomes stronger than arguments, and calm becomes more intimidating than anger. The examined life is not an easy life. It requires confronting uncomfortable truths about your weaknesses, your fears, and your contradictions. But it is the only life that is truly yours. Everything else is performance. And in the end, the greatest regret is not that you failed, but that you never dared to live deliberately. Begins the moment you stop lying to yourself. Not the obvious lies, but the quiet ones. The lie that you're fine when you're numb. The lie that you're busy when you're avoiding change. The lie that someday you'll start living, once things slow down. They never do. Most people wait for clarity before they act, but clarity comes after action, not before it. You don't discover who you are by thinking. You discover it by choosing, risking, and standing by the consequences. Comfort keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. And a small life, even when stable, slowly suffocates the soul. Freedom is not the absence of responsibility. It is the courage to choose your responsibility consciously. When you don't choose your struggles, you inherit someone else's expectations. When you don't define success for yourself, you spend your life chasing symbols that never satisfy you. Money, status, attention. None of them can replace meaning. They only distract you from its absence. There is a moment, quiet, uncomfortable, unavoidable, when you realize no one is coming to save you. No permission will be granted. No perfect timing will arrive. This moment separates those who wake up from those who repeat the same year forever. Power begins when excuses end. Living deliberately does not make life easier. It makes it real. You will lose people. You will disappoint others. You will outgrow rooms that once felt safe. But in exchange, you gain something rare: self-respect. And once you have that, manipulation fails, fear weakens, and loneliness becomes preferable to false belonging. The greatest act of rebellion today is not anger. It is awareness. To know yourself, to choose consciously, to live awake in a world that profits from your distraction. because the real danger was never failure. It was sleepwalking through a life that could have been yours.
Everything was under control, no danger, no emergency. Just another normal night. People believed them. Lights were turned off, doors were locked, families went to sleep. But beneath their feet, the city was filling with fire. Not flames you could see, but pressure, heat, and silence. The warning system was triggered, then silenced.